Chapter 31, Lynn. After physics, I walk with Xander, Daniel, Oliver, and Andrew and Kaylee to the athletics parking lot. Colton, Callie, Sarah, and Amelia are already there waiting for us. Andrew and the Neanderthals are riding with you, so I assume I have everyone else? Xander asks. Before I can respond, Colton whines, I want to ride with Lynn, especially if Jet and Tristan are going with her. Xander rolls his eyes and looks like an exasperated parent. Tristan, Jet, and Grayson arrive with Carter a little behind them. They look awesome. Before school, I painted one arm blue and one arm silver on each of the guys. I did blue designs on their silver arm and silver designs on their blue arm. I painted their faces too. It looks great with their jerseys. Jet's the only one who doesn't play football. He's wearing a basketball jersey my mom special ordered. It looks like the one he wears for regular season, but has his last name across the back where it normally says Mustangs. She got one for each of us at the beginning of the school year. Why don't you and Callie ride with Lynn? Oliver and I will ride with Zan, Daniel says, which is weird. Like I told Andrew earlier, they get along with Xander, but it's out of character for him to offer to switch with my little brother. Before I can ask him about it, Daniel shoots me a go with it look. I decide to save my questions for later. Fine, whatever, load up so we can get this over with, Xander mutters as he gets into his SUV. The guys and Callie talk football the whole way to my house. I keep trying to think of a way to include Andrew in the conversation, but come up with nothing. Today was the first time we talked about anything other than homework or homecoming plans. I can't exactly segue from football to parents. He has talked about being in band, but I don't know much about marching band. Dylan is the first of us to play an instrument, and he only does concert band. Sorry about them. They get carried away when talking about sports, I say, hanging back so I can walk with Andrew towards my house. It's fine. It's interesting to hear them all talk about something they're excited about, even if I don't understand what they're saying. He smiles, and it reassures me that he isn't feeling left out. You want to sit with me at the game tonight so I can explain what's going on? I would, but I'm marching band. Andrew looks down. But isn't that for the halftime show? We only march during the halftime show, but we play in the stands for the rest of the game. We do get third quarter off to eat. I could come sit with you then, and you could teach me a little. Andrew looks up when he finishes speaking. Sounds like a plan. I open the side door of the house that leads to the mudroom and take my shoes off. Carter comes up on the other side of Andrew. You downplayed the size of our house, Carter says to Andrew. You said it was like kind of big, not basically a mansion. I blush, feeling slightly uncomfortable. This is part of why I don't usually invite people over to my house other than the guys. That's not polite to say. Andrew elbows Carter and shoots him a look. Hey, I live in an apartment. This is like culture shock. I mean, there's a wall of shoes. I'm allowed to react. Carter elbows Andrew back. Carter, shut up. You're the only one who thinks you're funny. Kaylee flicks his ear as she walks by. Mom, we're here, I call out as I head into the hallway. My mom sticks her head out from the kitchen. Great, can you go get extra cheese from the kitchenette? Yes, ma'am. I head toward the kitchenette upstairs. Xander follows me and turns to me at the top of the stairs. What's up? It's not like the meatheads to split up and want to ride with me or give Colton what he wants. I don't know. I thought it was strange too. I plan to interrogate Daniel about it later. I glance downstairs but don't see anyone close by. Okay, be careful with Andrew. What do you mean? I mean, your friendliness can be a lot. Some might mistake it as flirting. I don't want you leading him on and hurting him. Unlike the jocks, he doesn't go through girls faster than Kleenex. I don't think he dates much, if at all. I'm not flirting with him. We're just friends. You're the one who told me I needed to make friends outside of sports. Friends. Xander puts a huge emphasis on the S. Maybe take that energy you've been devoting to befriending Andrew and spread it around a little. You'll have more friends, and Andrew won't get the wrong idea. I'm still adjusting to Andrew, Kaylee, and Carter. I don't know if I feel up to trying to befriend anyone else. I know new people are a lot, but it's just something to think about. At least try dialing back the friendliness with Andrew. I nod, not sure what else to say, and Xander goes back downstairs. Lately, it feels like every move I make is the wrong one. If I hang out with the Knights, there must be something more between us. If I stick to the people I know, I'm stuck up. If I hang out with anyone else, I'm leading them on. I just want to be myself without having to think about all of my actions. I'm nice and I try to be friendly, but it seems like my friendliness is being taken the wrong way. But I don't want to come off as mean or standoffish. I just don't know what the right level of friendliness is, and I wish it wasn't even an issue. Why can't I just be me without everyone feeling the need to judge all of my actions? I grabbed the cheese from the fridge, trying to push my racing thoughts out of my head. Back downstairs, I helped carry everything into the dining room. Mom's waiting for the apple pie to be done, and then we'll bring it with her. In the dining room, there are 2 empty chairs. One at the head of the table for Mom, and one that's between Grayson and Andrew. I sit between them and try not to read too much into it. I hadn't given much thought to the weirdness on Wednesday. It had seemed like Grayson was back to being more friendly and less flirty, so I just assumed Daniel was wrong, or Grayson had changed his mind. Which is a relief since I'm not in a place to get into another relationship. It upset Mark, especially since he was always so jealous of the Knights. I may not be dating him anymore or like him that way, but I do care about him and I don't want to hurt him more than I already have. I don't want to give Mark any reason to think there's any truth to the hateful things he said when we broke up. Now I have the additional worry from what Xander said. I don't think I've been flirting with Andrew. I'm trying to be friendly. The better friends we are, the smoother Saturday will go, and it'll make our project easier if we get along. I don't want him or anyone else to think I'm stuck up. I tend to stick with my friends, but that's because I'm comfortable with them, not because I think I'm better than everyone else. I wish who I spent time with wasn't the big deal it feels like it's been lately. I may not be looking for a relationship, but I have noticed Andrew is cute. His brown hair is constantly falling into his face, and he fidgets a lot. I'm pretty sure he's always in motion. It's adorable how his face lights up when he talks about band. I kind of liked that his glasses were broken because then you can see his eyes better. Up close, they remind me of milk chocolate. But he looks more comfortable in his glasses. His glasses add to his cute nerd look. Besides, you can still see his eyes through them. On the other hand, Grayson is good looking. His blue eyes are bright and remind me of the ocean. He's tall and muscular. He's my friend, which complicates things, but means he knows me, and I know we already have a lot in common and plenty of things to talk about. I know he doesn't have any issues with how close I am to the other Knights. Odds are, if he was intentionally flirting with me on Wednesday, he'd want a short-term fling. He's never had a serious relationship before. Daniel is right. Grayson being Oliver's brother doesn't mean he's going to suddenly want to have a serious, committed relationship with me. I realize I've been staring at the tablecloth, zoned out for who knows how long. I look up and catch Oliver staring at Kaylee, who seems oblivious. Interesting. Before I can ponder that too much, Sarah speaks up. So, are we supposed to know any specific etiquette for this? I've never eaten in a formal dining room. I'm sure you have better table manners than the Neanderthals. Don't worry about it. Xander smiles and I snort. Jet and Tristan give out an indignant, "Hey! We only have a dining room so that we can have a bigger table. Besides, as a mostly male household, I'm pretty sure my mother gave up on anything more than basic table manners a long time ago. I ignore Jet and Tristan since Xander isn't wrong. Says the one who can outburp all of us. Daniel rolls his eyes from the other side of the table. It's not my fault I can beat you and everything. And I always say excuse me, and that's what matters to Mom. At least I don't talk with food in my mouth. I shoot a look down the table at Colton. Oh, shut up. That was ages ago. Colton rolls his eyes. Didn't you get in trouble for talking with your mouth full last week when I was over with my dad? Callie asked. But he didn't think he had to count that because Lynn wasn't here. Xander chuckles. I hate you guys. Colton crosses his arms and pouts. Anyway, what they're all trying to say is they don't even know fancy etiquette. Mama Kingston will definitely not expect you to know any. Now, could you all stop acting like children? Oliver looks around the table at each of the Knights and my brothers. Daniel started it. I reach across the table to point at him. Picking on each other is how we show our love. Daniel flicks my finger away from him. Then maybe save this love fest for when we don't have guests. Oliver rolls his eyes. We say that like we're at your house, Sarah says. That's because the Knights basically live here. They occasionally go to their houses to get clothes and sleep, Xander says. His statement gets some looks that I can't decipher from Andrew and his friends, but Mom walks in before anyone can say anything.